Hello and welcome to this preview of the World Heavyweight Championship match at BWR Warning Shot, taking place this Saturday, the 8th of February at the Memorial Hall in Cleethorpes. My name is Dopper. Happy New Year! The last one of these videos I did was back in November, leading up to the hugely successful Viva la Revolution show, and since then I've been busier than a three-legged cat trying to bury a turd in a frozen pond. 30 seconds in and I've already used the word turd. Before I get into that title match at Warning Shot, first I'd like to briefly look back at some of the 2024 BWR highlights by the numbers. There were 40 matches on 6 live shows, 2 ladder matches, 2 tag team gauntlet matches, 2 street fights, a title versus title unification match, a title versus hair match, an Anarchy briefcase cash-in, a tables match, a last man standing match, and a steel cage warfare match. Scotty Rawk became the first person in BWR history to have one continuous title reign last for an entire calendar year, after he won the World Heavyweight Championship in November of 2023, and he is still the world champion as we go into 2025. The 3 wrestlers who had the most BWR matches in 2024 were Nathan Cruz, Zachary Rowe, and Cameron Rowe, who all had 7 matches each. They all wrestled on all 6 BWR shows in regular matches, as well as competing in the Riot Rumble match. Nathan Cruz was also BWR's Iron Man in 2024, with the longest amount of ring time. His 7 matches added up to a total of well over 2 hours in the ring, bell to bell. And finally, a quick shout out to Kanji, who broke Doug Williams' record for the longest amount of time between 2 BWR matches. Doug had wrestled at BWR No Turning Back in August 2017, and then returned for the 4th anniversary show in July 2021. So there was a gap there of 3 years, 11 months between those 2 matches. When Kanji returned in 2024 to take part in the first ever women's Anarchy briefcase ladder match, I checked the numbers since her debut way back in 2019 and found that there was 5 years, 4 months and 6 days between those 2 matches, or 1,955 days to be precise. Hopefully it's not that long again before Kanji's 3rd BWR match. So that's enough looking back in the rear view mirror. Now I'd like to look ahead at what's coming next. The BWR World Heavyweight title match at Warning Shot will be the reigning champion Scotty Rawk defending against Hard Man Dan. HMD earned this opportunity by winning a battle royal at the Viva la Revolution kickoff show before the main show began. On the surface, Scotty Rawk seems to be a strong favourite, but I highly doubt it's going to be an easy night for the bastard child of British wrestling. Hardman Dan's win-loss record is not the strongest, but if you look beneath the surface, most of his defeats in a BWR ring have come in multi-man matches. He's been on the losing end in 3-ways, Riot Rumble matches, and 4-way ladder matches. But whenever Dan has faced off with opponents one-on-one, his record has been excellent. This will actually be Hardman Dan's 2nd time facing a BWR heavyweight champion in a singles match. On a BWR Underground event a couple of years ago, the then champion Ricky Knight Jr.'s scheduled opponent was not in the building, so at short notice HMD was nominated to be RKJ's challenger that night. This was no easy night for Ricky. HMD took him to the absolute limit in a match that went almost 20 minutes before Ricky Knight Jr. was narrowly able to get the victory. That only made Hardman Dan hungrier, and he continued putting in the work to get that spot in the Battle Royal where he outlasted everybody to earn this opportunity. What about Scotty Rawk then? Well, his record-breaking, ongoing World Heavyweight title reign speaks for itself. He has successfully defended the title 8 times in 3 different countries against a total of 9 different challengers. All is well for Scotty, or it was. In the main event of Viva la Revolution, at the climax of that unforgettable 4 vs 4 steel cage warfare match, it was Scotty Rawk whose shoulders were pinned to the mat by his former best friend, Tyler Devlin. 8 men went to war that night, but Devlin, Team BWR's captain's only focus, was getting revenge on Scotty, who had tried to end his career with a sickening attack over a year earlier. So after all of those successful title defences and everything going the way Violence Party wanted them to, they ended 2024 with a big setback, with a defeat. Scotty posted a memorable social media post just 24 hours before that steel cage match, in which he wrote, "I bleed BWR. Tomorrow I terraform the landscape and rebuild in my own image. I am God." After that match was over, a friend of mine reminded me of a quote by the disgraced former Russian physicist Ivan Vanko, who once said, "If you can make God bleed, the people will cease to believe in him. There will be blood in the water and the sharks will come." After the 12 months he had just experienced, Scotty Rawk must have gone into that cage match feeling invincible, untouchable, unbeatable. So I'd love to know where his mindset is now. He can be beaten. He is not invincible. We will find out at Warning Shot whether he can overcome that defeat and get back to winning ways, or if his confidence has taken enough of a knock to make his next title defence against one of the hardest hitters in the game his last. There are less than 20 tickets left for this show, so if you don't already have one, I suggest acting fast and heading over to ticketsource.co.uk/BWR and picking up yours ASAP. In addition to that championship match, there will also be appearances by BWR Tag Team Champions Reese and Brogan, Joseph Connors, the current Anarchy Briefcase contract holder Lizzie Evo. Ricky Knight Jr. will return to the Memorial Hall for the first time in well over a year to take on the up-and-coming Miles Kamen, and it will be Tyler Devlin's first night as BWR Commissioner. You don't want to miss it. I'll see you there.